Greeting and intro. Welcome to our latest video on the Aprilia SX125 KX1. We'll break down its strengths, weaknesses, and what to watch out for when buying. Concise, honest, and practical. Brought to you by Motorize.de, the #1 source for new and used spare parts. This 125cc supermoto targets A1 riders who value agility over touring comfort. True to Aprilia form, you get a precise chassis with a 41mm USD fork and a strong 300mm front brake disc. A standout detail: Bosch ABS 9.1 runs single channel on the front only and includes RLM, rear wheel liftoff mitigation. The liquid-cooled 125cc single puts out 15 horsepower through a 6-speed gearbox with smooth linear delivery, while 17-inch wheels and a seat height of around 880mm underline its supermoto character. History and development. In 2006, the SX125 rolled onto Aprilia's supermoto stage. A Rotax 122 two-stroke with Rave power valve, 28mm Dell'Orto carb, steel perimeter frame, aluminum swing arm, and 17-inch spoked wheels, 180 front, 130/70 rear. Sharp, immediate, and with a restrictor A1 legal at 11 kilowatts. From 2018, a 124.2cc four-stroke took over. Liquid-cooled 4-valve, electronic fuel injection. Still 11 kilowatts per 15 horsepower, but cleaner, thriftier, and compliant first with Euro 4, later Euro 5. New hardware came with it: Bosch 9.1 ABS with rear lift mitigation, a 41mm USD fork, and a 300mm front disc, seat height around 880mm, 6-speed gearbox. The evolution marks a shift from raw Rotax punch to a more polished, everyday-friendly lightweight, without losing its supermoto DNA on asphalt. Under the sleek bodywork beats a Euro 5 compliant, liquid-cooled 124.2cc DOHC single, fuel-injected and A1 compliant with 11 kilowatts, 15 power. A close ratio 6-speed gearbox keeps the single in its sweet spot, while the SX125 rolls on spoked wheels with 180/17 up front and 130/70/17 at the rear. A steel perimeter frame, 41mm USD fork, and a central monoshock deliver precise feedback. Up front, a 300mm disc works with Bosch single-channel ABS featuring RLM, rear lift mitigation, to actively reduce rear wheel lift. At the rear, a 220mm disc takes care of stopping. Seat height is around 880mm. Everyday ready, a compact LCD dash with gear indicator and shift light, plus a 7-liter tank for solid range. Design and ergonomics. Visually, the KX1 stays true to its supermoto DNA. A narrow waist, sharp side panels, and a long, flat seat for rapid weight shifts. The wide 28.6mm bar gives serious leverage, while the 41mm upside-down fork set up on the firm side delivers a tall, precise front end. Up front, a compact LED headlight sits ahead of a tidy LCD dash with gear indicator. KX1 graphics flow across the tank shrouds and tail, underscoring its sporty stance. With an 880mm seat height, it's a big A1 class bike, yet the slim midsection keeps it easy to control between the knees. 17-inch spoked wheels and folding, serrated pegs complete the look. A signature touch, a grippy two-tone seat with an embossed KX1 logo. Handling and everyday practicality. Out on the road, the SX125 feels right at home, nimble from 30 to 80 km per hour with a generous steering lock for tight lanes and U-turns. Its 17-inch wheels, 180 front, 130/70 rear, and taut 41mm USD fork keep it tracking true even over manhole covers. Hit the brakes, and the 300mm front disc, backed by Bosch 9.1 Mecha ABS with rear wheel lift mitigation, RLM, bites with confidence. A real advantage on wet cobblestones. Day-to-day, a 7-liter tank for commuting range, 880mm seat height for a commanding view, plus a 6-speed gearbox and an 11 kilowatts 15-HIR Euro 5 single for easy, elastic flow with traffic. At roughly 134 kilograms ready to ride, it stays wonderfully manageable. Pure, confidence-inspiring fun in the urban jungle and on twisty backroads. Strengths and highlights. On the Euro 5 Aprilia RS 125 2021 on, almost everything hits the mark. The torsionally rigid aluminum perimeter frame inspires confidence, the 40mm USD fork delivers clean feedback, and the 17-inch tires make direction changes effortless. The 124.2cc OHC single dishes out an A1 compliant 11 kilowatts in a very linear way, backed by a slick 6-speed gearbox. Important for sporty riding? Bosch 9.1 Meg ABS only intervenes at the front, and rear wheel lift mitigation prevents stoppies. keeping the rear predictable for controlled drifts. Beginner-friendly touches include a crisp LCD with gear indicator and shift light. Stout hardware and low running costs. A 300mm front disc with a radially mounted 4-piston caliper. Weaknesses and typical problems. Not everything's perfect. The 124.2cc single needs revs. Between 6,000 and 8,000 RPM, it feels a bit flat. Above that, it pulls cleanly. With ABS only on the front, the rear 220mm disc can lock up in the wet. The suspension offers very little adjustability and feels harsh over sharp-edged bumps. Correct tire pressures and fresh fork oil help take the edge off. At 880mm seat height, the KX1 is a stretch for shorter riders. Typical trouble spots: loose spokes after curb hits, seeping radiator hose clamps, and temperamental cold starts, often sorted on Euro 5 bikes with an ECU update. Otherwise, TPS-CO fine-tuning helps. Preventive measures: check spoke tension regularly and replace the clamps with higher quality items. Accessories and customization. If you like making a bike your own, you've got options, especially with the Aprilia SX125 Euro 5 11 kg. An ECE-approved Aero slip-on sheds noticeable weight and sharpens the soundtrack. Still road legal. With the dealer ECU map, the DH single runs spot on. For extra bite from the 300mm front brake, a steel-braided line is worth it. Bosch 9.1 ABS with RLM, rear lift mitigation, stays fully active. The 17-inch spoked wheels, 180 front, 130/70 rear, invite tire experiments, from sporty supermoto compounds to long-lasting commuter rubber. Visually, a racing graphics kit, a tail tidy, and handguards make it pop. For harder launches at the lights, go shorter on the gearing, e.g. -1 tooth on the front sprocket, snappier, and still A1 compliant. Scene 9. Market value and buying criteria. New, the SX125 runs about €4,500 to €5,000 depending on model year. Well-kept Euro 5 bikes go used for roughly €3,200 to €4,800. Key specs: 124cc single with 11 kilowatts, 6-speed gearbox, 41mm USD fork, 17-inch spoked wheels, 300mm front disc with Bosch 9.1 MPR single-channel ABS with rear lift mitigation, and a Bibri 2-piston caliper. 220mm rear disc. Practical checks: watch the ABS do its self-test, check the fork for leaks, make sure the wheels run true and the spokes are tight, inspect chain and sprockets, steering head bearings, wheel bearings, and cush drive rubbers. Ask about the ECU update that improves cold starts, current mapping version. From MY 2021, the LED headlight is a plus. Note the seat height is around 880mm. A stock, unmolested exhaust, full service history, and a correct numbers usually start ZD4. All add value. Bottom line, the Aprilia SX125 KX1 is one of the most focused A1 supermotos out there. It blends nimble, crystal-clear feedback with a sturdy steel perimeter frame, a 41mm USD fork, and an easy-to-modulate 300mm front brake disc with Bosch RLM. The Euro 5-compliant 124C single puts out the class-legal 15 horsepower through a 6-speed gearbox, 17-inch wheels sharpened turn-in. Downsides: minimal wind protection, a firm setup, and a pillion seat suited only to short hops. Best in the city and on twisty back roads, it's ideal for sporty beginners and fun-focused commuters. For touring or two-up, better look elsewhere. The KX1 shines when the road gets twisty.